Here's a bunch of shit I grabbed off of Wikipedia. If this means anything to you, feel free to pause the video. Look at all this gobbledygook. I press the button and something happens. None of this means anything to me. Wi-Fi IE 802.11ax. Gigabit Ethernet. PlayStation Now. There's some dimensions for you. It's a big chap. My controller, I'm not gonna lie to you. It is my feeling that the PS5 is secretly the PS4 Pro. Fundamentally, I believe the games I'm playing on this machine are PlayStation 4 games. However, they are running in the environment of the PlayStation 5. It is Pro, it is PS4 Pro, and then to go even further beyond. This is running all the old games at a higher frame rate, and with a bunch of other useless features I can't tell. I don't have a 4K monitor. I can barely see what ray tracing even is when it is on. However, the games are running good, and feeling good because I have the DualSense. Here's the back of the machine. I don't know if that means anything to you. Here's a very bad photo of the bottom of the back. Here's a box. As you can see, the white bar has replaced the blue bar on top of the PS4 boxes. I think this is a little bit uglier than the PS4 boxes, and I wish the entirety of the PS5 box was white as opposed to white on blue, but they've decided on blue as being an important color for them, so we're gonna let them have their way. Here's my box. The guy who gave this to me off the truck knew exactly what it was. There it is on display in front of my not 4K TV, looking large and in charge. After 1 year, I think you can see some fingerprints on that bad boy. Lately I've been having a hard time with my modern consoles and not knowing what button is what. Right? We have the eject button and the power button, and I still mess it up. Sometimes I press power when I want to eject, and sometimes I press eject when I want power. Here's my Switch. Decidedly smaller. Decidedly less posh, if I do say so myself. Currently, everything is wrong with that Switch. I've got drift and I've got messed up buttons. Hopefully you can tell that this video is running at a superior frame rate than my usual videos. I'm trying to render this at 60 frames. Hopefully YouTube cooperates. This is Astro's Playroom. It's shipped with the PS5 already installed. I love this game. This game was actually very fun and I 100%ed it. And I would consider playing a sequel if someone would make it. Again, very good looking. Outside of ray tracing and the SSD, are we really seeing anything that we would not expect to see on the PlayStation 4? I don't know. I believe we are hitting diminishing returns graphically on all fronts, but this being a console, more so. This game is cute, undeniably beautiful in its own right, very crisp, and this game was put together as a showcase for what the PlayStation 5 could do. If you have a PS5, you probably have this game. This game also does a great job of showing off what the DualSense is capable of. They really put the DualSense through its paces with this game. The DualSense being the PlayStation 5 controller, the cool haptic feedback and adaptive triggers are on full display here. As you can see, this game feels a lot like Mario, which I think is a good thing. I think Sony could use its own Mario. If this is going to be it going forward, I don't know. But Here is Astro's Playroom. This is the first game I bought for PlayStation 5. If you've seen the original, you know that original game looks like shit. And this one don't. This game is Demon's Souls remastered by Bluepoint. And it is a gorgeous game. This game would look good, I think, to any eye on any hardware. It just has beautiful art. It has beautiful architecture and beautiful colors that I think really pop on PlayStation 5. Do bear in mind that this is the same game as the PS3 original. You are not fundamentally getting a new game. However, I love this game so much I would buy it another 10 times if they would remake it that much. Here's Returnal. Very cool looking game. A lot going on aesthetically. Makes great use of all the PS5 features, especially the 3D audio. This is the first PS5 game I played that made me believe in the true existence of 3D audio. Up till now, it was just something that existed in the ether, but since I played this, it existed in my head. Sounds do come around from behind. They do run in front of you. They do appear to the left and to the right. And it does factor into the gameplay in a meaningful way. It is easier to play with headphones on when you're playing this game. It's also a very hard game, so you want all the advantages you can get. There's something I noticed about these PS5 games so far that I've bought. They're all kind of hard. Is this because of the SSD? Or is it because of the legacy of the Souls games? The reason why a game would be harder if you had access to an SSD is because developers wouldn't be afraid of making you retry the same thing many times, because there's no loading. The hidden benefit of the SSD. Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade. This is the DLC mission that is exclusive to PlayStation 5. Also, you get an upgraded version of the base game, Final Fantasy VII Remake, to go along with it. As you can see, many of these games probably would work fine on a PS4, but this being the PS4 Pro, you owe it to yourself to play it on a PlayStation 5, especially if you never shilled out the money for a PS4 Pro like I did. I'm happy with base consoles, and I'm happy with the PlayStation 5 in that regard. The stark visuals of the landscapes in Death Stranding, they really benefit a lot from the PlayStation 5. I don't know what it is, but I feel like the fog effects on PlayStation 5 are superior to that in the PS4. I may be imagining it, maybe I'm not, but this game I feel looks a lot better on PlayStation 5 and runs a lot better. Everything I've played so far has been running at 60 frames per second, and it would be in 4K if I had a 4K TV, but I don't. If you do, that's great, but I don't. You may remember the PS5 Pulse 3D headset. I don't have one of these, but I can't imagine it being much different from a regular set of headphones. After the PS5 came out, I couldn't seem to get any clear information on whether or not these headphones were actually required for 3D audio. However, now I do not believe they are. I've experienced 3D audio just fine on regular headsets. They look cool. If I had all the extra money in the world, maybe I would have picked these up with my PlayStation 5. It does match. I don't have these headphones. Instead, I have this one. Frightening hidden objects inside the ear cup, black tape to hold it together. I'm certainly getting my value out of these. I believe the PlayStation 5 interface is a straight down the line improvement over PS4's, On PlayStation 4, I would often get lost. So far, I've yet to get lost on the PlayStation 5 interface. The game library easily tells you all the games you have access to. The media gallery can easily give you access to all of the media that you've recorded, screenshots, video, what have you. The shop loads directly from the main menu. You no longer have to open the shop. The shop is just right there for your perusal. Pressing R1 will immediately take you to all of the media that is not related to games. They're separate now, and not together and confusing. Man need no longer struggle to find the trophies for a game he wants to see. The trophies can be found directly underneath the game's icon in the menu. The PlayStation button on the controller originally was difficult for me to press, and I preferred the round button of the PS4 controller. But after a year of using it, I've come to prefer this. The R1 button and L1 button felt bad to me at first, and I felt I had to arch my fingers in a weird way to hit them efficiently. However, I've come to realize that you need to hit these buttons with the middles of your fingers, and you have to really kind of wrap your hand around a little more. The microphone button here, if you press that in, you can mute your mic, and if you hold it in, you can mute the PlayStation 5 itself. So instead of having to hit mute on the television, you can just mute from the controller. An oft-forgotten feature and little reported feature of the PS5 that I actually love. The feedback on the PlayStation 5 controller, the DualSense, is fantastic, and it blows away the Switch. I find that gimmicks like those that are in the controller are terrible when they don't have any gameplay advantage to them. However, the DualSense has proven to me that there is a gameplay advantage to having the PlayStation 5 controller DualSense gimmicks. In Demon's Souls, for example, you can feel the light rumble when you have an incantation or spell active on your character. You don't necessarily need to look at the HUD to find this information out, you can actually feel it. Uh-oh. This is what I paid for the PlayStation 5. This is not from a scalper. This is what I paid for in Canada land. It is a very bad idea to pay this much money for this machine, especially at launch. I bought it because I am crazy. You, however, are not. So you should not be buying this unless you know what you're doing and you know the risk you're taking with getting a product that may not have games at all. But given Sony's track record, I think we're going to be seeing some games coming. However, is it $730 worth of maybe having games coming? I don't know. I got it with Demon's Souls. For me, that's good enough. Is it good enough for you? So after all is said and done, I think my year with the PlayStation 5 has been fantastic. I prefer my PlayStation 5 first year to my PS4 first year. I've had 2 disc-based games for my PlayStation 5 a year in, and on my PS4 I think I pretty much had nothing. This is superior to the PS4 first year, the PS3 first year, possibly the PS2 first year, but not the PlayStation 1 first year. PlayStation 5 first year in. This is me personally. Your mileage may vary, and this is a review only after 1 year. The average console these days is going to last 6 or 7 years. So 1 year in, I'm going to have to give this system an 8 out of 10, which is very strong. When this was first revealed, I thought it was hideous, just in a hardware design point of view. But I've come to realize it's actually a cool looking machine. It definitely turns heads. We'll leave it at that. And the base that it came with is very strong. It stands up very sturdy. It's hard to knock over. It is a very nice machine. It's suffering from kind of a bad spat of PR right now, but hopefully if we can get past this bad PR era, we can start seeing some real cultural traction with this machine again. So, here's looking at you, kid.